Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy the Dreadhead Ninja Bot Rodimus Black, and I'm coming back at you today, and we are discussing Jia Kui LingYao. I'm pretty sure I'm messing that up, but this is a recent purchase that was made for me on sirtoys.com. Funny story about that, I am actually banned from being able to purchase anything from Sir Toys, so my wife had to go ahead and order this for me. But that's a long story, so I'm not really going to get into that today. Right now, what I want to do is focus on this little cutie right here. Now, this is the main reason I bought her. I mean, honestly, she's just adorable to me. Like, I literally love the aesthetic. I love the look of her. Let me back out a little bit so you can maybe get the whole picture. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Alright, but yeah, she's just an adorable figure. Not very well detailed, not a whole lot of articulation on her at all, but still, I mean, it's just a really cool figure, and her alt mode is to absolutely die for. So before we get started on that, let's start off with her weapon. She only comes with one accessory, and this is it. It transforms into a blaster. So right here you can see we have her blaster mode, yeah, and it's cool. You know, just purple plastic with a little bit of what would you call that? A different shade of purple, magenta, pinkish colored when you turn it into the blade. So to transform it from the weapon, it just starts off right here. In this mode, all you're going to do is fold the handle under and lift the blade up. Now she has a nice little sword. I cannot talk tonight. Sword. Okay, so that's her accessory that she comes with. Let's get into the figure. So here she is, the Jia Kui LingYao figure. So as far as articulation goes, there's not a whole lot to be mentioned. Her head, for the sake of transformation purposes, does go back and forth, but there is no swivel whatsoever. So that head is not going to turn left or right. All you're going to do is get that up and down. Her earpieces do move. Again, that is for the sake of transformation. Her shoulders go all the way up. They do rotate forward. And if you look inside here, there's a joint right there that allows them to go in and out. And she also does have bicep swivel rotation as well. And then she also has wrist articulation to boot. Okay. Now the shoulders, they do go up and down on this hinge right here. So you can get them all the way up, all the way down here. I generally like to keep mine about mid-range. Alright. So on the legs, she could probably do about the full splits if it wasn't for these large wing pieces. Let's see if we move that out the way. Yeah, try to move those. She could probably get about the full splits in both, almost the full splits in both directions. She, like I said, she's very posable. She does have that thigh rotation. It's really not thigh, it's more at the knee joint that you're going to get your rotation, and you get like a little bit of toe tilt back and forth. Not a whole lot, no ankle rock or anything like that. But I mean, this figure is only like 13 bucks on sirtoys.com, so it's one of those situations where you kind of get what you pay for. But in my opinion, you get a whole lot for $13. I mean, this is extremely creative, and it's a beautiful sculpt, especially on like the lower half. If you look in here, she's very curvaceous, if you know what I mean. She got hips. Baby been eating cornbread on Cybertron, cornbread and lima beans, you know what I'm saying, mac and cheese. But they didn't do that great of a job on her. You know, again, like for 13 bucks, but they didn't do that great of a job. I mean, there's a lot of things that could have been done differently in engineering that I would have liked to have seen. For instance, her wings that stick out on her sides, they stick out pretty far, and like I said, they do kind of hinder movement. And then on the backpack back here, this comes all the way down. So she doesn't even clean up that nicely on the back. It would have been nice if it just folded straight up instead. but it doesn't. You kind of have to have it folded down like that, and that's not my favorite. That's not my favorite look for it. But okay, so let's get into the transformation on it. So first thing I do is you're just going to want to open the chest up. It's just pegged. Back here is two small pegs. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there's two pegs. All you're going to do is rotate the head backwards, and then you just close that back up. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Close that back up. Oh, she has no head. All right, so next thing you want to do is the backpack. Trying to make sure I got the angle right. It comes out and it goes in. I'm not sure how well that's going to translate on camera, but you just pull that out and that allows you to twist this forward, and then you just extend that all the way up. And there are two pegs inside here, and you see it has two corresponding peg holes. All you're going to do is peg that in together as well as you can. Try to get that flush. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's not that complicated either. Alright, cool, there we go. Alright, now as far as the arms go, remember she has those like hinge joints for the shoulders. You're just going to put those all the way up until you get it all lined up, and you have these two clips here. These two clips on the shoulders that are going to line up with the front of the jet mode. Alright. So you do that on both sides. Get that down. And so far, I mean, you're pretty much halfway done with the transformation already. Alright. So now with the legs, they do peg in down here. And then all you do is just fold both of those up like so. And boom, you're done with the legs. Now for the wings, all you're going to do is fold the wings out. Like they were like this. And then you just fold that all the way out. And then you're just going to line everything up like so. Get in there. Okay. Pull the wings out. Another really nice thing about this, I love the pink color on the wings. And these are actually, that feels like die cast to me. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's die cast metal, which is a really nice touch for such a inexpensive figure. I don't want to call her cheap, because I don't really see her as being cheap. But here we go. So that's her in her vehicle mode. And like I said, her vehicle mode is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, I mean, and really, I bought this as custom fodder because I plan on painting this, and I'm actually thinking about maybe doing it in like Sorry Sumdat colors, but I'm not sure if I'm going to leave her as a jet. I might just take all the jet bits off of her, all the extra kibble, take her down to her bare bones body, give it a nice good paint job, and then I'll have my own custom Sorry Sumdat. Alright, so give me 1 second, I'll go ahead and get that transformed back. Okay, so we got her all transformed and put back into her robot mode. Like as I said, I mean, this thing is really simplistic. I'm not the greatest in the world at transforming my toys by any means. I do tend to lean heavily onto the instructions in order to make sure that I got it transformed properly. But with her, if you ever order from Sir Toys, as you'll know, a lot of times you don't get instructions that come with it. Your figure just comes nicely wrapped, probably in plastic, and that's pretty much all you're going to get. But here's her weapon. I'm going to just put it back in her gun mode. All it does, it doesn't tab in or anything. It just kind of tension hold on it. But you can see she holds that with no problem. It's not going anywhere. Her other kibble, these other leg bits that get in the way, they will. But her weapon, she holds it like a champ. You know, she's not letting that go. Now, she is a little bit larger than your some of the Hasbro figures. So if you do plan on purchasing this, just be aware of the scale. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to set her up next to a few different FemBots. So first, what we have up is Alita 1. And as you can see, they're about the same size in height-wise. She's just like a hair taller than Alita 1. Okay. And again, just Alita 1 has this like really big, bulky Almost looks like the body was not meant to be a FemBot. And when I see a FemBot, I do want to see them with more feminine qualities to them. You know, I mean, that's the whole purpose of being a female robot. You know, you're going to have a little bit more sleek curves, a little bit more sleek design. So, I mean, I definitely appreciate what Jia Kui LingYao did with this one here. Okay. So, next up, I think we have the Weijing KO RC. This is a KO of the Hasbro version. And to me, they scale beautifully together. They look phenomenal next to one another. You know, aside from the fact that RC has a more humanistic face, and she just has more of a face plate. If you just get past that, the bodies and everything, they actually look really good together. All right. And lastly, I have Nova Star, and as you can see, she is quite a bit taller than Nova Star. All right, so if you're into collecting this line right here, as you can see, she is not going to scale well whatsoever with them. So be careful when purchasing it. But in all honesty, I give this figure, especially when you're coming in at $13, I give her an A+. You know, I mean, she might be lacking in some articulation. She doesn't have the best transformation, but she is just so damn cute. So cute to me. Another thing I didn't point out, here in the middle, I'm not sure how well you can see that. This is actually transparent plastic right here in the middle. So you can actually see through that. It's almost like light piping if you have light coming in from behind it. It's just a really adorable figure. And like I said, if you're like me and you like to customize toys as well, she is great material, great source material for a custom. All right. So again, we just take a quick look at the back, do a quick 360 on her just to give you one final glance. Again, like I said, great looking figure. Definitely has a very strong anime theme, like a female Gundam, or almost like a, dare I say, like something like almost like a reminiscent of like a Sailor Moon turned into a robot. All right, not exactly Sailor Moon. It doesn't look anything like Sailor Moon. It just has that anime vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to convey here. So I mean, don't sleep on this one. For $13 plus shipping, I highly recommend it. Now they do have a second female bot on this series. She's like a turquoise greenish tank. I can't tell you enough to stay away from that one. The transformation is horrible. The figure is kind of horrible. I really appreciate the fact that my wife went out of her way to get that for me, but I'm just not a fan of it, and it's not going to find a home on my shelf. But with her, again, if you're trying to collect some fembots, it's been a boy show for the last, since the 80s, almost 50 years, 30, 40 years now. So, I mean, now we're starting to get a lot more female robots out there. And if you want to feminize your collection a little bit, add some, more color to it, I highly recommend it. So, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking me out. Don't forget to like or subscribe the video, or not, whichever you feel like doing. Just hope this helped you to make a more informed decision on your purchase, or even possibly enlighten you into a figure that you haven't even didn't know existed yet. With that, as always, y'all be cool. Peace.